before you begin, you may wish to find yourself a comfortable, safe space where you know you will not be interrupted, not be interrupted, not be interrupted, not be interrupted, not be interrupted. Hi, welcome everybody. This is Rebel Heart Tarot TV, where we're going to explore creativity, spirituality, and the making process of Rebel Heart Tarot, created by myself and artist Niki Cotton. And today we are welcoming in Martyn Williams, who is one of the characters in our cards. For anyone familiar with the cards or becoming familiar with them or intrigued by them, they are populated by people we know, people we have met, people who inspire us. And Martyn, you are one of those. So welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, Alice and Niki. It's just such an honor to be here, and I'm super excited. And thank you for involving me in the creative process of the deck as well.
It was it was perfect. You're a perfect person for it. It's nice to meet you as well, because I didn't know anything about you, did I? So it was your connection through Alice, so it was really nice to actually meet you at last, having seen your picture and cut your head off to put you in off with their heads. It was a bit strange to put you in our cards, but yeah, nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, and I was just trying to search back through the memory banks of how we actually even know each other, Martyn.
Do you know, I'm sure it was when many moons ago when I was on Facebook. It must have been, we didn't just connect via Instagram. I think I've known you before that.
Yeah. I think it was not even necessarily tarot related when we got in touch.
I don't think it was, you know. I think we've known each other for about 10 years now. Yeah, it's a long time, and so I would have been really offended if I wasn't in the deck after all that time. No, not really. It's just nice. Yeah, it is. It's lovely.
So before we show you the cards, which you're going to be like one of the first people to see them, there's only like maybe two. There's probably a few more than two decks. We have a deck each, me and Niki, and probably there's a few floating around at the publishers. But beyond that, there are no more at present that are available or in hands. So we'll show you those shortly. But can we ask you some questions about tarot first? Because most of the people in the cards probably not tarot users, or not even that aware, or maybe even interested in tarot, but you certainly are. So we have some questions for you. Niki, did you want to?
Yeah, I was wanting to know that what is it that kind of, how did you come to tarot, first of all, I suppose?
I think I was roughly about 10 years old, and I'm 52 now. So I was in a gift shop in a little seaside town in Wales with my parents. And I spotted, which I didn't know what it was called at the time, the Tarot de Marseille, but I think it was the IJJ Swiss, because it was on the TV show, The Tales of the Unexpected. For anybody who's familiar with our culture here, it was a massive TV show back in the 70s and 80s. And I kind of, that was it for me, Niki. I just used to play with the cards. Obviously, I didn't know anything. And I used to put the cards down on the floor, tell stories. And it wasn't until I got older that I kind of realised I was doing it right. So it all unfolded from there. And I've always been interested in the unseen and the unknown. Even when I was very, very small, the door. Can you pause this?
Yeah. Carry on.
And so that was it for me. As I said, like, I was always interested in the unseen, and I was different from other kids. And then it carried on all through my teens, all through adulthood, with little breaks in between. And it's kind of brought me to where I am now. And it's been an incredible journey, and it still is, because you're always learning. And that's what I love about it.
That's what Alice says. She says every time she looks at them or speaks to anybody with them or does a reading, something new will come up. But yeah, it's amazing.
It is. It's totally amazing. It can be life-changing as well. You can be, can't it, Alice, really? And I couldn't imagine my life without it. Not
Yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah. Because of all the connections and everything that kind of goes along with that part of the journey, the tarot, and different kinds of spirituality. And it's just lovely. It really is.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there. And I think when people begin on a tarot journey and they think, oh gosh, I've got to like memorize all these 78 cards and all of their meanings, they're not really recognizing the fact that it's so much more than that. It's this movement between understandings and explorations of life, and the cards kind of flow in and
Yeah.
out of that relentlessly. So you're not just kind of memorizing anything, you're living through life with the top cards as kind of accompaniment and building an encyclopedia of self-knowledge.
Yeah, it's amazing because I've always said that to read the cards, you've got to have lived the cards, you've got to have lived every experience. And I mean, I know some younger people, it's impossible. But then again, who knows, you know? But yeah, it's kind of that's how it becomes really you and really personal to your own journey.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was going to ask you was, how do you use tarot in your everyday?
I use mine for journaling, journaling prompts, and I also use it as a tool for where I am now. I don't use tarot as I'm going to get shot for this now. I don't use tarot as a divinatory tool. I haven't done for years, and it's fine that people do. But I just prefer to kind of use them as like a board, like a mood board, or you know, like the more the psychological aspect of things, you know, and empowerment and you know, things like that. That's how I like to use the tarot. Yeah.
Nobody's shooting you here. I think I completely agree with that. I think once you start trying to use them for prediction, you're handing over your power elsewhere. And
That's
I
how
think whenever I've done that, if I'm being honest, it's when I've been in a really unhappy place.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a way out of it. But actually, the tarot will always point you back inwards, relentlessly. And so over my 30 years practice, I've come to realize that the best uses for that journaling, for reflection, for understanding what's already here.
Yeah, totally, Alice. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's how we've ended up approaching this, though, isn't it? With your writing and things, Alice, in the book has been very much about how we can make this the everyday. And I think we've tried to include quite a lot of everyday kind of imagery as well in the cards, so that they don't seem so out there, I suppose. They're grounded in the now, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's the little tagline, isn't it? Discover the divine power in the everyday. So, which so what did we have some more questions?
Oh yeah. So what drew you to getting involved in being part of the cards?
Alice. She bullied me into it. She didn't actually. It was just come at the right time, and I'd never have agreed to this like 5 years ago, Niki, because I was in a completely different place. And I think now, because I've built up my confidence and my self-esteem, and then when Alice approached me, it was last summer, wasn't it? Was it last summer? I think.
It would have been around this time last year, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember it being really warm. And I thought, yeah, it was the way she like put it across. You know what Alice is like, Niki. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was the way Alice, like, you know, gets all excitable about everything. And I thought, well, you know, I'm gonna go for it. And you know, and I really enjoyed it. Because she said, like in the email, like to, you know, pretend him dressing up, and he was, and it was lovely. It's kind of like it released that inner child, and I loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed the experience.
Great.
You were great though, Martyn. You really you sent us loads of pictures and loads of different stuff, and then I think we sent you back to do some more, and you went and did it, and then we used one of the original ones anyway, and you were really patient and just creative with it, and you know,
I really enjoyed it, honestly. It's not very often you get the opportunity to like get asked to do something like that, so you know, I thought, well, you know, it's a really good opportunity. It's really exciting, and it was really out of my comfort zone as well, because I don't normally raid my wardrobe at that time of the day and start putting random clothes on.
Honestly, we've had so many, the kids have been with me because they've been like my photographer half the time.
Yeah.
And they've been like, oh, what have you got on now? What are you doing? And I'm like, no, come on, let's put it all on. Let's just see what happens.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It really was. Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Oh, good. It was great to have you in it. And yeah, you fit. As we were doing the you know, printing them out and things and putting them together, it was kind of doing the cutting out, and it was like you fit so perfectly, because it was Alice's big giant chair from her lounge, and she was like, oh yeah, he'd look perfect on this. Magic.
I wanted one of those big giant chairs after I seen the card, you know. Yeah.
Slightly tube giant chair. I think when the dog was a puppy, you got the edge of it and you can see it. But that's one of the things about these cards, is they're slightly imperfect as well. You know, because it is the power of the everyday.
Yeah.
So shall we then reveal your card, which I feel like you may have seen? I may have sent you something, but
Yeah, but it's different seeing it in a picture that's all kind of cropped on a WhatsApp message than it is with somebody holding it up. So I'll be able to see the size, and yeah, I'm really excited now.
Yeah, and wait till you get your
Okay.
deck, Martyn. You're gonna, oh my god, it's that we were like over the moon. But here we go. I'm gonna talk so that hopefully the
Oh my
camera
God.
goes to me. But that is you, and like, I know you're a tarot connoisseur, so what I will tell you about this is it's a great size. I was worried because the box is quite big and chunky, like an oracle card box.
Oh, it's nice though. I like the box.
It's
I love
good. So, but actually the cards are tarot card kind of size, which is perfect. I wondered if they'd be a bit more square, but they're not. And we have, honestly, look at this. It comes with this little thing, goes over. It's all dead.
What's the backs like? Can you show me the backs? Oh, fab. Absolutely. Who's the pink person? That's you, Alison.
It's really me. I'm a bit upset. I grew up going, I'm not a pink person. It was always blue and purple and things, and then I've just had a bit of an obsession in the last few years, especially just before I started my MA, and while I've been doing my MA, I've been obsessed with doing neon pink just about everywhere.
Yeah, pinks and purples is me.
Yeah.
If the whole deck was pink and purple, that would do me fine. Yeah. So it's lovely, it really is. Yeah. Little old me sitting there. I'm glad you read my face though. So.
Yeah, what drew you to being, because we asked people, didn't we, what animal they would like, or what they would like as their head. So what drew you to being an owl?
I think age and wisdom. Well, I'd like to think so in the real world. Age and wisdom, yeah. And I have got a strong connection. I had a little owl I used to carry around with me when I used to have panic attacks. It was made out of tiger's eye. So it reminded me of that. And so yeah, the owl. I just love owl.
That is just, I love these connections that we all have with these random things. I'm a glitter ball on quite a few of mine because I love a glitter ball. Why not? But yeah, I love that story, Martyn. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a pleasure to create these. So I was going to say to you, Martyn, so obviously, I mean, I'd love to sit with you and go through the whole bunch because I know you're a tarot person, you know these cards. But obviously, this is quite a different deck. Hopefully you'll agree once you see it.
Well, you know that my favourite kind of deck is a collage art deck. My three favourite decks of all time, I think modern, is the Rosebud Tarot, the Guided Hand Tarot, and I've also got what's the other one called with the roses on it as well? I forgot now. But yeah, I love collage work because one of my favourite decks from years ago is the Voyager Tarot, and that's all collage work on there. So if it's all collage work, Niki, you've won me over already.
It is totally all collage. So there's a bit, it's all collage basically. What would be your favorite card if we could find it in here?
My deal breaker for a deck is I've got two.
Go on.
One is
No pressure.
I've actually got three, but I'll let you off with the two. Right. I always look at the death card because being Scorpio, it is a bit of a deal breaker for me. And the Hermit as well, because I am a hermit as well.
All right, so I've got the Hermit.
And I've got the
and you've
death.
got Death.
Look at that.
So this is my father. This is my dad with his kingfisher head on, and that is my kids' Wendy house that I can just see outside of there.
Oh, that's just adorable. And that one, Niki, is
So
just
this is my friend Sharon, who is just the most incredible woman. She's a powerhouse. So yeah, when it came up, it was like I just thought she just had the best vibe for it.
it's just lovely.
Like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love them both. But what I wouldn't, why wouldn't I? Because it's my favorite style of artwork anyway. And I like, you hear me saying on YouTube sometimes, I like, this deck hasn't got a lot of it's not very cohesive, but sometimes with a collage deck, it doesn't have to be cohesive because it looks stupid otherwise. And I just love, oh, I love it. Honestly, I love it.
Go on, what's your third card then that would be a deal breaker?
Tower.
The Tower.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really intense cards, Martyn.
One intense person, Niki.
You see, I am just
They all
I am
like life
such-
card.
I
It's
am the
Scorpio
novice.
vibes. Yeah, so
I am a complete
You
tarot.
call yourself a novice, but you've just created
am.
an entire bloody deck.
No, I know, but I
And
can
had
make
me
work.
wafting in your ear about it for the best part of a year. You're not a novice anymore, Niki.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'm on the first rung of the ladder.
Maybe halfway up. Anyway.
Oh,
you know
do
what we actually need, though? You know what you actually, because I'm sure, Niki, you've got some spare artwork lying around now. So we actually need a companion oracle deck to that.
Tell our publisher.
yeah, we have been talking about it quite a
Yeah,
lot.
I will.
Okay, here's the tower.
Oh, fab. Is there a washing machine at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the coolest ever. I absolutely love it. Really, I do. Yeah.
It's just got everything on there.
Yeah, it's just brilliant, honestly.
An iron, a telephone, pile of books.
Got the yarn bomb wings from my
Yarn
village.
wings, yeah.
It's got one
So
of
you
the
must know something subconsciously, Niki, to be able to do that.
Alice has been my kind of, we sat down and we've never met. This is the other weird thing. So this whole project has been done just by WhatsApp messages generally and Zoom calls. And we did a suit at a time, and we'd go through them, and then Alice would talk through all her kind of connections and feelings and her thoughts on the cards, and then also take the traditional and then kind of talk through how she then kind of reads them and so on and so forth. And then we built it from there. And as she would be talking, I'd just be writing down ideas. And then once we'd gone through the whole suit, we'd then kind of come back and I'd go, right, okay, I'm thinking this for this. And she'd either go, no, or, oh yeah, and what about doing that? And so they just became like, it's been a proper, it's been, yeah, well.
It's just brilliant, I think, as well. When you've got a collage deck, it's more open to interpretation. So you can add them little personal bits and them little, quirky pieces. That kind of, I always think that a collage deck is basically like an intuition pop as well. Because no two people see the same thing, do they? And I'm just so excited now, honestly.
That was one of the things we were saying on the call we had with Kizzy the other day, who's our agent, and we were saying how it's like artwork in that sense, and tarot is the same thing. You bring this story of your own life to what you're looking at, and each person brings their own content really to what they're looking at, and then it's how, and also it depends on the day, what's on in the news, so much as kind of.
It does, because the way you read, certainly, you just picked up on a really good point there, Niki. You'll probably agree, Alice. I think if you read like late afternoon, if you picked a card now, if we both pick one card from that deck, we both see different things because of all the information we've processed throughout the day. you know, because, you know, you process so many thoughts, don't you, in the
Yeah.
day, what you've seen. And so, yeah, that's a really good point. And I just love it. Yeah, I'm
I
a
think,
fan.
yeah. You know, and I think that's why nobody's a novice at tarot. People who've never picked up a deck of tarot cards are novices. But Niki, to call yourself a novice,
I know, but I'm working with you.
You're a deeply wise woman who is, you know, intellectual and clever and emotionally astute. And honestly, what more do you need? You can look at an image and you can create meaning from it because you're an artist. And actually, that makes you, and anybody can look at a tarot card and create meaning. And
Yeah.
what we think we're told is that we shouldn't do that. We should like go check what the book says, and that's right. But for me, the liberation and freedom of all of our lives is putting the book aside and just giving ourselves permission to own that.
Although your book,
apart from my book,
your book is
Not Alice's book.
phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It
Well,
really is.
I wrote it in a way to open people to their
Yes.
own experience. So I'm not saying this is the meaning of this card. I'm saying consider this and think about this and flow with this. You know, I can't remember what I said a while ago since I wrote
See,
it.
what I've always respected about, I've got to get this one in now. What I've always respected about Alice is she has always been quite open and honest about her life problems, in her books, online, personally, of course. And I think this is really important as well, to, you know, show your rawness, show your authenticity, show that you're a real person, and you're halfway there, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
That's it. And I think that's one of the things with the whole psychic spiritual realm is in the past, you know, they were, you know, like a priest is placed above others as seen to be different and ordained and without fault. And actually, you know, I think the best spirituality comes from a gritty, shitty kind of everyday path.
Oh,
That's where we learn our lessons.
Yeah, definitely, Alice. I totally agree with you on that one.
So can I do a wild card? Can I just do, I've been chomping at the bit. You might see me sat here shuffling. I haven't really pulled a card for anyone. So would you do me the honor, Martyn, of letting me pull you the first card for somebody other than myself and Niki?
Yeah, I'd love to, please. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what comes up. So it's quite fun when you quite pop of colour while
Look at those, yeah.
You know, I can see all the colours going past my eyes, and oh, mine wants to worry up.
Right, let's see. We have the 9 of Swords. So this is actually my daughter Ivy pretending to hang from a washing line, bless her heart. Don't let the bastards get you down. There's so much
you know
more.
what? I don't know whether you're aware of the week I've had on the land of social media.
I did see something.
Kind of fitting at the moment. Yeah.
But we have this kind of, Niki put these like what looks like the, you know, the aurora borealis, the kind of northern lights up in the sky, and this one person is getting hung out to dry, you know, the kind of drama, her feet are in the mud, but there's so much more of a cosmic experience she could be having. So like I say,
she's right as well.
She's now as well, yes. You may not be able to see that because it's a tiny
now.
Oh yeah, I can now. Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, so
it's a very me deck. It really is, and it's one of those decks that I should put with my favorite pile with all the collage decks. Because I'm so over all this pastel rubbish. You know, my eyes don't roll. But yeah.
No, sorry, I love the pastel colours. I feel like I was quite judgmental there, but yeah, I don't think I own a pastel.
I do, but like it's not with me. I kind of like raw, gritty reality. I like to see if the card is a shit show, it depicts that in the card, you know. And that's what I appreciate about everybody's different take on the cards. But yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
So when's it released, and where can you say? And
it's released on the 8th of December, but it is available now for pre-order. So depending upon when people watch this, anyone can buy it from now onwards. So
okay.
yeah.
thought it's just brilliant, honestly. You've done so well, the both of you, and especially you, Niki, not coming from a tarot background. But you know, it's just brilliant. And I can't wait. When will it be here?
You'll probably get it sooner.
You've been saying that. Honestly, Alice and I have been making these cards, and this is the first time Alice has actually handled them, was on Friday when they were delivered. So all Alice has seen of them is the WhatsApp pictures that I've been sending her. So she's not handled any of the imagery because, of course, we live miles apart. So I've been doing them all here and then going, oh, what do you think about this, and sending them. So this is the first time Alice has actually been able to look up close and actually touch any of the images and things. So it's just, we have been, haven't we, for months going, oh, when do you think they're going to be here?
Exhausted ourselves with it, especially the last couple of weeks since we realized they were in the post. And then obviously things have gone on, and postal strikes and God knows what. And oh my God, the last week or so we've
Are they coming today? No, they're not. Are they
given
coming today?
ourselves a distraction.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Look, everything's just gone to pot, and the last couple of weeks. Hopefully now things will get back to normal. So yeah, it's just, I'm just really happy that you've decided to do another deck, Alice. Because yours gets mentioned quite a lot on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yours, yeah.
I only published like 200. Look, here it is, right next to me. I've only published 200 of those, and just kind of.
Do you know, there was a lady who actually had a deck from. She's in the UK. The Teacup Tarot.
Right.
£18 on Etsy. And somebody says, "Oh my God, that reminds me of the Cosmic Mother Tarot with the, you know, the artwork." And I says, "Oh, it's just so beautiful." And I says, "Yeah, it does actually." So I'm going to do a pair in this. I'm going to do a comparison video on my YouTube this week. Obviously not the, you know, like, this looks like Alice's work, not nothing like that. Just the same kind of style, and how good they look together in a reading.
Oh, I'm going to check that out then. Teacup Tarot sounds
It's
lovely.
lovely. You'll love it. You will love it. Yeah, it's really sweet and endearing, and you know, all simple and kind of, you know, like raw, and no apologies for, you know, maybe the mouth being a bit higher than it should be. And I just think it's just lovely. I really do.
Oh, hook me up with her. I'll go follow her.
I shall do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end this call now. So thank you, Martyn, but we'll stay on for a second. So I'm just gonna stop. So thanks everyone.
Thank you, Martyn.
We'll have more guests soon. Talking.
Thanks for having me on here, guys. Yeah, expect loads of pictures of the cards when they arrive, and so thanks,
Yes,
Niki.
what's your YouTube, Martyn?
Martyn's Musings.
Martyn's Musings. I'll put it all in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay then. Speak to you all later.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. Bye bye.